I wouldn't say that I have a breakdown. I would say that it's like breakdown adjacent. Hey guys, so I just wanted to come on here real quick and do a little intro for this video because I filmed one, but the vlog ended up being more chaotic than what I initially thought. So first off, these are new bookshelves behind me. I am very, very excited about it. The next video will be setting them up, organizing them, all of that fun stuff, tour, all of that. But for this video, essentially here's what happened. I was in denial that I was in a book slump. And I thought it was a good idea to do a 24-hour reading vlog. And then during the 24-hour reading vlog, I came to terms with the fact that I was in fact in a book slump. And then the video turned from being in a 24-hour reading vlog to me trying to get out of a reading slump. So all that to say, the first few clips for this video were like, oh, I'm gonna do a 24-hour reading vlog, I'm gonna crush it, blah, blah, blah. I don't crush it. I wouldn't say that I have a breakdown. I would say that it's like breakdown adjacent. I do have a moment. So all of that to say, that is kind of why the structure of this video is chaotic, and also because I was in a book slump and it had been so long since I had been in one, I'm not my usual like peppy self in some of this video. Just because, you know, book slumps suck, so I wasn't really in a good mood about it. I really contemplated not putting this video up just because it's not my favorite that I've ever done, but I do think that it's very realistic, and so I'm uploading it because I hope that some of you guys can relate. There's never a convenient time for a book slump, but let's go watch me try to get out of it. Okay, friends, today we are going to be trying to do the first installment of reading for 24 hours. Now, I'm a little bit nervous to do this for really only one reason. The last 2 times that I've done challenge videos, so the last time I did a 24-hour reading vlog and the video where I tried to read 200 pages a day, I narrowly escaped reading slumps with those. And the way I avoided it is I just stopped filming the video. But I really, really want to do a complete 24-hour reading vlog. But I think that my problem is, because when I was editing the footage for that one, I really liked that video, but when I was editing the footage for it, I was thinking that the reason why it didn't pan out like how it did the first time, like the first time I filmed the 24-hour reading vlog, it went great, did it completely. And I think it's because that last time I wasn't super strategic with what I was picking to read. Also, my voice, sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but to me it sounds really weird. But I wasn't very strategic with what I was picking. So I was just kind of like going based on vibes. I was like, oh, what would I be in the mood to read? But here's the thing, like I need to pick something, yes, that I'm in the mood to read, but also I need to pick something that I think I can binge in one sitting, because there are books where it's like, no, you need to like stop and come back to this and all of that stuff, if that makes any sense. So I need to be a little bit more strategic. We'll see what happens. It's like 9:30 right now, and so we will be going until 9:30 tonight. I do need to film a wrap-up video, so I will be doing that during this, but other than that, we're got no plans, just gonna be reading, just gonna be going strong. So the first one that we're going to be picking is A Fire Endless by Rebecca Ross. I read the first one a while ago. I said this kind of in my TBR video. I said that I read this one a while ago and I need to finish it, and I want to finish it. I'm not forcing myself. I want to finish this. I loved the first one a lot. And when I was doing my TBR video, this was the second highest rated book on Goodreads that I had on my TBR. So I feel like that's a good sign. I'm only on page 36 right now. So like this is definitely going to be reading this whole book. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to try to like race to see how many books I can finish. I mean, honestly, that'd be cool. Like I'm curious to know how many books I'm going to finish today. And I don't really know what I would want to do next. I don't kind of want to do like a TBR for this video because I really have no idea. I also have some fun little romance books on my Kindle that I can choose. I don't really know. We're just gonna go with it. I'm not gonna put too much pressure on myself, and hopefully that kind of formula of how I'm gonna do this is gonna make it be a successful 24-hour reading vlog. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Okay guys, so I needed a change of scenery, so I moved into the bedroom, and I'm 3 hours into this challenge. I am 169 pages in, and I think I need to be really honest with myself and admit that I'm in a book slump, and I'm really sad about it. I have not been in a book slump in over a year. Like, I went through all of 2023 without being in a book slump once, and I do not know what is going on because I'm liking what I'm reading. Like, I am also like 100-ish pages in Beartown, and I'm liking what I'm reading. I just don't want to be reading, and I don't know what's up with my brain. I don't know what is going on. This is like such a new, like, this is so weird to me. Like, normally I feel like book slumps are like, oh, I can't find anything that I like. Like, I'm genuinely really enjoying reading this book. Like, the challenge, like this 24-hour reading challenge, reading this book has not been hard because I feel like I'm just, you know, mind my business, having a good time. I look up and it's 30 pages later. And I'm really liking it. I just don't want to read right now. And I don't understand what's going on, but I don't want to stop. Like, normally, here's what my dilemma is normally when I'm in a book slump, I read something that I know for a fact I'm going to like a romance book by someone that I really like, or a repeat author, or something like that. But this is the third book that, if I were to stop reading this right now, this would be the third book that I am like stopping in the middle of. Like, the first one was Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. Stopped reading that about 100 pages there. I'm not going to not finish it, but I'm just like, I don't want to do this right now. I'm moving on. Beartown is my book club book. So I'm like, when we moved our date to April, I was like, I'll read something else. And so I want to finish this book all the way through and then maybe try that. But I think that this vlog is turning into me trying to get out of a reading slump or me just like being in a reading slump. I don't really know what to do. I truthfully don't. I feel a bit lost. Like, not to be dramatic, but in my reading journey, I feel a bit lost right now. Like, why do I not want to read? What's wrong with me? Like, what's wrong with my brain? Anyway, so therefore, I don't really know what I'm gonna do right now. But I'm a verbal processor, so I wanted to verbally process this with you guys. But I think this vlog is now me being in a reading slump. Like, me trying to get out of one. Okay, friends, update time. It is a few hours later. I've had a nap. I've had a cry. I went on a pretty stellar walk. And now I have a pretty great drink. So I think I'm ready to crush it. I do think that I am in a book slump. Like, I don't think that my little moment, my drama moment that I was having earlier, I don't think that was wrong. Like, I think I am in one, but I'm feeling pretty optimistic about the rest of this reading time now, okay? So, with that said, I think we're gonna try to continue the video. I mean, we're gonna go for it. I'm feeling pretty good. I think I just needed to get my shit together. And now I'm feeling more optimistic. So I did leave the timer running during my nap, but we're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with that number just because obviously I'm in a fragile state. So the timer is at 5.5 hours and it is currently 4:30. So if I read till around 9:30, maybe 10, I can complete the majority of today's 12 hours. I think I'm gonna go for it. I'm feeling pretty good. We're gonna freaking crush it. Okay guys, so we are 230 pages in, and this has taken a turn that I did not expect. Also, the camera's really far away. I hope you can see me properly and hear me. Do I need to be louder? I am so excited right now. Like, this is really good plot twists that are happening. I'm very, very into it. We have a few things to discuss. So as you can see, it is not nighttime, it is the next day. And we have finished Fire Endless. So here's the thing. I know I've been very back and forth on what this video actually is going to be. My future editing self is going to hate that my brain could not figure out what it wanted to do this week. I know that in the last kind of clip where I was talking to you guys, I was very optimistic about me still being able to complete the 24-hour reading challenge. And while we did, I think I got to 10 hours last night. So I did almost half of it, but here's my thing. I think this is going to continue going in the direction where I thought about halfway, where this is now me trying to get out of a reading slump. And just because I think that feels more authentic to where I'm at right now. And also because now my plans for the day that I was originally going to finish this challenge also kind of possibly got messed up. So, you know, it's a 2-for-1 reason why I'm like, you know what, let's just focus on getting out of this reading slump, and then we can go on from there. So we finished a Fire Endless last night, and I think I want to do like a 3.75, maybe a 4. Okay, here's my thing, and I want you guys to tell me if you guys also feel like this sometimes. Where Rebecca Ross, for some reason, with this second book and then Ruthless Vows, the second book of the Divine Rivals books, I do not like the second book as much as I like the first. And there's always a part where she loses me. Like, there's always a part where I'm like, okay, it just doesn't feel the same, you know? And this could be a me problem because there was over a year in which I like span in between me reading the first and the second book. And so I don't know if it's like, it just like feels like a totally different story when we get to the second book. And like, I know that the story like develops and, you know, characters develop and things have to happen for the plot, but it just like, it feels different and not in a great way. You know what I mean? But the good news is we finished the book yesterday, and while I was reading, I was enjoying reading. And when I was at work today, I was like, wow, I want to be reading right now. Like, I'm excited to go home and read. Like, I'm excited about the next books that I'm going to read. I'm like wanting to do it, which was the whole issue, was before, which, you know, you saw me being dramatic in that clip where I'm just like, I just don't want to do it. Like, and what's wrong with me, you know? So hopefully we're past that point and we are reaching the next phase of me trying to get out of this book slump, which is me reading a book that I am pretty guaranteed that I'm gonna like. So we have or Kindle, and we are going to read Caught Up by Liz Tom Ford. I loved The Right Move. Loved that book. That book was so good. Those characters were so good. And I love baseball, like a lot. I love baseball. And I really liked, there was a Chestnut Springs book that had a similar trope to the trope that's in this one. And so I think that I'm going to be here for it. So I am very excited. And we will see what happens. Hopefully, I'm really hoping, here's going to be the test. Here's going to be the test, guys. So the first step was me just finishing that other book because I was like, I'm not leaving another book halfway through, okay? Now we're gonna read something, a genre that I know I like, by an author that I know I like, and the next test after this will be, I'm gonna go back to a book that I was in the middle of before, which was Beartown, and we are going to see how I feel while reading Beartown. I feel like that is going to be the test of like if I'm out of this book slump or not, because I was enjoying that book. I was really enjoying the storyline. I was really enjoying the characters and like the whole concept of it. I was really into. So I feel like it's not like I wasn't liking it. I just didn't care about reading it. You know what I mean? So that will be the test. And we are going to go start reading Caught Up. I really actually hope I like this one because I just realized that I didn't read Mile High though, because everyone told me it wasn't good. So let's just hope it's all uphill from here. If I don't like this one, I think I'm going to do Reckless in the Chestnut Springs series. That is the fourth one. I'm going to stop after this one though, because I heard that the last one isn't that good, but I heard that this one's like everyone's favorite. So we'll see what happens, but I'm very excited. Things are looking up. Spirits are higher, if you can't tell. And let's go get into it, I guess. He doesn't know if he wants to play baseball anymore. Well, get rid of that baseball money? That baseball money's serious. No, but it's because he wants to be a good dad. Okay, so we are much later into the night. I am about a little over halfway, and I love this book. I love this book. I love this baseball team. I love this little kid. I love it. And I'm like, I have been giggling for the last, like, it's been hours since I've talked to you last. I've just done nothing but read this book. And I have been giggling the entire freaking time. It's so good. I do have to say though, these indie romances, like, there's always, without fail, maybe one or two things that happen in these scenes where I'm like, really, really could have done without that. Didn't need to hear that. We didn't need to say that. We didn't need to do that. That's definitely happening in this book, but I feel like that's just the nature of the book that I'm reading. But yeah, I just think that's funny. I'm always like, you know, you ever make this face when you're reading one of those books? You're like, that was me. If you've read this book, you can probably guess what part I'm talking about. But nonetheless, still a really great, fabulous time. And I'm really into it. And I'm thinking this is curing my book hangover. And I'm pretty into it. So I'm going to go to bed because I'm freaking tired. And we will probably finish this book tomorrow. So I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, so it's a little bit later. I'm gonna update you guys real quick because the Final Four game is in halftime right now. I finished the book and I really, really loved it. I'm gonna give it a 4-star, I think. I loved Kai. I loved him as main character. I thought that he was really great. And when I think about what felt different to me in this versus The Right Move, because I feel like we got to see so much of the team dynamic of all the baseball players and how they loved Max. I loved Max and all of that stuff. But I think that for some reason, I didn't love the main girl. And I don't know why. I just wasn't, like, I loved Indy. Like, I loved her so much. And for some reason, I just did not love the girl in this book, but I loved them together. I loved her with Max. It was just like, I don't know how to explain it. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that I finished a book for the first time in, it's been weeks, when like I've been reading, but I've been like, there's been a point where I'm like, okay, when is this going to be over though? Like, when is this going to be done? And I did not get to that point once with this book. So this is the first time in weeks where I haven't been reading and waiting for the book to end. And so that was really, really great. And I am excited to read Beartown, I think. And we will see what happens. I think we're going to start that tomorrow. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and hopefully when I talk to you next, I'm really enjoying reading still. Okay guys, I truly look so horrendous. Don't really look at anything that's happening right here. Okay, so I think that I know I am out of my book slump. And I said that Beartown was going to be the test for this, but here's the thing. So, because my problem before with my book slump was that I didn't want to read. Like, even if I was liking what I was reading, I just didn't want to read. We have surpassed that into now I'm just not enjoying this book, but I really want to be reading, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm thinking like, oh, what am I going to read next? I'm so excited to read this story. I'm so excited to, you know, do this anticipated book. I just, for some reason, I am not responding to this book like at all. Like, I do not care. I'm on like page 160. Normally I DNF books around 100. And I'm trying not to DNF this because this is our book club book. And I just texted my best friend who's also in the book club with me. And I was like, how far are you into this book? Do you like it? Am I going to like it? I do not care. Like, and I don't understand because this is such a popular book and the writing is good. Like, the writing is great. There are a lot of times where I'm like, oh, that was a really good line. Or like, oh, that's so true. Or like, you know, all of that kind of stuff that you think when you're reading a good book. But the storyline, I just genuinely, like, don't care. Like, I don't care. These grown men are acting like they're 12. Like, I just don't care. I don't know what's wrong with me. But I'm still excited to read. So therefore, I'm reading a book that I don't like, but I'm still wanting to read. So I feel like I'm out of my book slump, if that makes any sense. Like, the whole thing about being in the book slump was me not wanting to read, and I want to read. I just don't care about this book. This, I guess, is going to be the end of this absolutely chaotic video. Me editing this, trying to make this video make any sense is going to be crazy, but this is, you know, this is the downward spiral when you're in a book slump and you don't know what the freak is going on. Like, that is very representative of what's happening. So I think that's the end of this video, I guess, because we solved the issue. I'm not in a book slump anymore. And I don't know, so many people love this. So if you have read this book and you love it, please comment down below and please, or, you know, a lot of you guys have followed me on Goodreads, so please, like, comment or message me or whatever on there and tell me to freaking read this book if you liked it. So thank you for sticking with me through this absolutely chaotic journey of starting out with a 24-hour reading blog and then realizing I'm in a reading slump and then trying to get out of it. This has been a really chaotic reading week for me, and this is a very chaotic video, I'm sure. So thank you for sticking around. I hope all of you stay book slumpless. I hope all of you don't get in book slumps. But thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next video.